You 102, but man, like this ain't that. You know what I mean? Like
Boy, you done killed Gladys.
Look, I ain't killed Gladys. Like we gonna find out who. No, we gonna find out who killed Gladys when this happened. It's gonna be the Brewers. Is what that's gonna be. Like, stop doing that. And if she, well, no, I'm gonna say she probably not outlived all her grandkids and all her kids. And yeah, dude, she like I remember this chick that we went to school with. Like, her aunt was so old, dude. She didn't even know how old she was. To the point she didn't even have no birth certificate. She was born that long ago, dude. Right? And then this old broad finally died. They had a nerve to be crying. What? Look, she needed to go. All her friends gone. All her kids gone.
Right.
Grandkids. Like, come
you don't
on.
even know how old she is.
Right. It's like, you can't be sad. There's no way you can be sad that she's gone. Because she like, finally, damn, Reaper, I've been trying to call you. The line been busy the whole damn time. Yeah, I forgot about you. I damn near forgot about you down here. Olitha. She got a name like Olitha. I don't know her damn name, but yeah. I was like, man, the dude that was telling me the story, I was like, you should have hung up on her immediately. That's the only proper response to that. Hang up the phone on her right away. What the hell are you sad about? She has no friends. Her kids are gone.
No, nothing.
Come on, nothing. Man. What are we talking about here? And then too, like y'all was hanging out. Come on, man. Moving on here. I'm just going down my notes. And apparently,
she probably ain't went nowhere. She probably ain't been nowhere in years.
And I ain't gonna say that either, because she is black, and you know it is true what they say. The blacks don't. I saw this thing the other day, dude. I think I talked about it when you weren't here. This choir. It's like the choir of ex drug addicts, right? Dude, the dude that leads the choir, who started the organization, he's 90 years old. They was talking to the dude. He couldn't have looked any older than like 70. I swear this to you, dude.
Really?
I swear. And this is the dude who pumped crack and heroin into his body for a good portion of his life. All them drugs just preserved him. They acted as a preservant, dude. This dude couldn't look any older than 70 years old, dude. He was 90, pimp. Still going strong, directing the choir and leading the organization and all that. I was like, yeah. Yeah, don't quit showing him on TV, because other crackheads are going to get some bright ideas like, damn, he did crack and heroin. He lived to 90? Shh, the rumors are false. This stuff doesn't kill you, preserves you. Meanwhile, everyone's overdosing in the streets because of this man. No, it's actually a pretty good story, though. Like, you know, people who turn their lives around, and now they're touring with this choir, and people come from long, long ways away to see them sing and stuff, man. So it was a cool. I forget what I was even looking at. Yeah, it's a cool story, man. People, people attributing their lives being saved to this choir, man. Like, dude was like, you're a drug addict. You have addictive needs. The only difference is mine has been filled with this choir. I'm addicted to singing in this choir now, and it's replaced the need for illicit drugs. I was like, cool, man. Again, somebody found happiness, man. What you want from me? I can only be happy for you, man. So yeah, it was cool. I can't even remember what channel it was I was looking at, but it was pretty cool. Speaking of people with addictions, Tiger Woods. We talked about him yesterday. There was a rumor that he had cheated on old Lindsey Vonn, and that was the actual reason for their breakup. Well, it came out today that the actual reason for their breakup is that Tiger got smart. And do I have an applause sound effect here? Because I need to big up Tiger for this. This is pretty awesome. Let me see if I can find.
What did Tiger do?
Huh? Wait, let me give him an applause first. Let me give him one of those. Let me hook Tiger with one of those. Yeah. This broad was trying to lock Tiger down, dog. She's trying to get married, and Tiger was like, did that. Didn't work out too well, Lindsey. Exactly. Exactly. Tiger was like, you know what, Lindsey? Don't think this is going to work out long term for me and you.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to get a hooker tonight.
Yeah, good for him, dude.
If you're cool with that, then okay, we can get married. But I don't think you're going to be cool with me going to Perkins and getting me a hooker.
Yeah, there it is.
After I leave from getting me a steak.
Yeah, you teaching old Tiger new tricks is what's happened. He was like, not going to fall for that one again, old blondie. The last one did it to me. Not again. I'm just getting my damn game back. You trying to ruin it all of a sudden? Crazy. Plus, he called his homeboy Rory. Rory, he was like, hey, Rory. Hello? Hey, Rory is Tiger because he got to introduce himself every time he calls somebody.
It's Tiger.
Hey, Rory is Tiger.
Tiger.
Hey, yeah, Lindsay wants.
He's like Napoleon Dynamite. Tiger.
Hey, dude, Lindsay wants to marry me. Did you see what happened to me after I let my weight go? Yeah, dude, you won 2 straight tournaments. All right, enough said. I'm hanging up now, Tiger. Enough said. Yeah, Rory left his broad and immediately became the number one in the world in golf. Immediately. Yeah, don't fall for the old boop in the tailpipe. No more, Tiger. That's all they trying to do.
Right.
They trying to conspire against you so that you can't get back to where you want to be. Good move by Tiger. That's the best move he's made all season, dude. Best move he's made all season in golf is to let that skiing broad go, and I couldn't be happier for him. I was talking about it earlier. We're coming to the end of basketball season. There is a certain requirement that we pay a little bit more attention to baseball, but not quite yet, as we wait for the beginning of college football, and then subsequently professional football. And so, I was telling Rob yesterday that during spring practice, I was paying a little bit of attention to what was going on around the SEC with teams like Auburn, Alabama, of course, right here at home, Georgia, some of the stuff that's been going on in Florida and South Carolina, just reading, skimming through things right and left. And
that kid you were talking about the other day, there's Peyton Bowser.
Yeah.
That kid you were talking about the other day.
I actually highlighted him in these notes today because I was reading this article about Brian Schottenheimer. And UGA fans, you may want to fast forward this part because this may not. I'm not going to say may not. This ain't what you want to hear. You kind of went through this with a guy named Todd Grantham on the defensive side of the football. And everything seemed to be okay until we found out, the kids were dumb and they couldn't keep up with the system. It wasn't simple enough. And, people were getting the loon pass in the secondary for touchdowns. Yep. And the old Georgia move was one teammate turn to the other one and just throw his hands up. Like, what the hell, dude? That's the Georgia move.
College Georgia probably a shot in the national championship. They're terrible ass defense.
You say that story every year. Like, you just tell that story every year and then fill the end blank in with something else. But they were just 2 yards. They were 2 yards short against Alabama because that's what it was.
Defense, like when Damian Swan and all them boys, like when it was up to, when they was started under that defense. Oh my God. They played terribly. Remember when Clemson beat them first game of the season?
I remember, Rob. I do. You going to take us through game by game and tell us how bad the defense was? Or are you going to let me get through talking about why you shouldn't be what's the word I'm looking for? Like, Georgia fans are always so have this glee and anticipation going into every season. Like, this is the year, 14 playoff. One of those spots is destined for us until what? Florida pushes it in on you. So anyway, Barrett Sallee, he writes for the Bleacher Report. He's one of the guys who cover the SEC. I had a chance on a previous show that I was producing to have him on. He's very good at what he does. He sat out with Malcolm Mitchell, one of the upperclassmen wide receivers that are being looked upon to play a very prominent role in this new Georgia offense headed up by Brian Schottenheimer. Now that Mike Bobo is going to the not really Midwest, but the Mountain West to Colorado State. He says, quote, this is Malcolm Mitchell now, quote, when he's teaching, he's rolling through. He's not taking 5 minutes to teach one play. It's like 10 seconds, and you better know it by tomorrow. Uh-oh. Quote, he's brought that in. Every time we install, it's quick. A 30-play install might take 5 minutes. Jesus Christ. And the basic premise...
he's not going to last.
The premise of this article is... Oh, you think not? Here, the premise of this article, the title is Georgia Football, Brian Schottenheimer Creating an NFL Atmosphere. All right, so the story goes on, and they talk about this quarterback battle. They talk about the junior and Fatan Batu, or Bauta, Bauta. the sophomore, Bryce Ramsey, and the freshman, Jacob Park. They still haven't figured out what they're going to do with this quarterback thing. We mentioned the other day that Golston, the kid from that's transferring from Notre Dame, took a visit. So basically what we're looking at is this little uncomfortable 4 quarterback thing that no one knows how it's going to shake out right now, or possible 4 quarterback thing, right? But the other premise of the article is they talk about how Georgia had 2 players drafted in the first 3 rounds this year. Aaron Murray and another kid were drafted in the 5th round in 2014. This is actually being looked upon, the kind of lipstick that's being put on this pig is that you now have a NFL offensive coordinator. Todd Gurley and Chris Conley drafted in the first 3 rounds, and Aaron Murray and Arthur Lynch drafted in the 5th round a year ago. That you have an NFL play caller now, which would serve to help guys translate better and guys being scouted more as NFL talent, knowing that they already have a familiarity with the NFL system. So that would be the that would be the bright spot once everything is figured out. But yeah, he's asking a lot of these kids.
Not so much. I mean, the reason I say that, because guess what?
Well, not so much what? What do you mean?
I mean, they talking about scouts go look at Georgia players more close. Like, dude, Georgia ain't had no players. No, they have no problem getting players to the NFL. That ain't the problem.
Well, you just heard the names I mentioned. We're talking 4 in the last 2 years. Meanwhile, Florida State is throwing like 12 dudes into the draft every year.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I mean, Georgia been playing with some young guys. I mean, but go back to what, 3 years ago when Jarvis Jones and the whole defense got drafted.
Well, we're talking offense though. We're talking Brian Schottenheimer doing that for the offense is what we're talking, because that was a Todd Grantham thing, as you remember. Todd Grantham has an NFL pedigree on the defense, so they're saying the same thing could possibly happen with the offense now that Brian Schottenheimer's there.
Well, I mean, I think on the offensive side of the ball, Georgia have linemen to get drafted. I don't know. I don't. Like I said, I just want these boys to win in college. I want them to win. I don't give a damn how I help they draft now.
Well, they do. and Arthur Lynch mentioned it. He's like, all the guys sitting in the room with us have dreams of playing in the NFL. So that's why that's why there are no complaints yet until dudes start busting assignments against, South Carolina, and then it's going to be a problem. But now that it's summertime and spring, there ain't no problems. It's like, this dude's from the NFL. We want to be in the NFL too. So, yeah, the kids. That's how a kid rationalizes things until, it ain't a problem until it's a problem. And, yeah, it seems like Georgia fans get ready for a wild ride. And Nick Chubb, get ready for 500 touches this year, because that's going to be the default. It's like, because he's still a shot. First of all, he's still a shot.
His NFL career go in right here in Georgia.
And we all know about Marty Ball. Marty Schottenheimer, his dad. So he's still a Schottenheimer. Right. So these are guys who like to run the football, and and Nick Chubb and what's the other kid that wears number 1? Sony. Michelle. Apparently Keith Marshall is supposed to be coming back healthy this year. So you got a nice. I think there's this freshman kid as well that I read about. You've got a couple of backs that you can. I kind of jokingly said Nick Chubb get ready for 500. That's not happening, first of all. But you've got a nice group of guys in the backfield that could help, for lack of a better word, soften the blow or ease the transition from the Mike Bobo years to the Schottenheimer years starting now. So I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I read this article today and I just felt like it was something worth mentioning, because we are getting to that point now. I think as we get closer and closer, we'll talk a little bit about some of the other teams like Alabama, because there's a lot of quarterback situations going on in the SEC. Florida hadn't found them a quarterback necessarily. South Carolina hadn't found them one. Nick Marshall's going to Auburn. They're still looking. Alabama supposedly has Jacob Coker, supposedly, but
Nick Marshall with the Falcons, right?
I don't know. He was rumored to have been a project of theirs that he was looking at, but I don't know if they ended up picking him up, because he's going to play DB in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So I didn't keep track of where he ended up, but there were some articles written early that they were looking at him. So yeah, there's a couple of teams in the SEC that are going to have quarterback issues going forward. I've heard that. I read yesterday that Texas A&M, they're going to try to revert back to more of a running style, in the 2 years post Johnny Manziel, and